Hey guys, man, you guys shouldn't have recommended I babble about CW because now I can't think of anything else. I gotta make this quick, man, because my memory card hasn't got much room and I tend to babble. So, I thought I'd give you something nice to look at, and not that. That's 50 megahertz. Got a little bit of propo. And so I thought maybe for a little, I thought you could watch a little Alizé. Alizé? And while I talk, here, would you like to hear her? Listen. Or would you like to see her? Look. Whoa. Oh my. I'm going to pause you and get something a little more appropriate to look at. Hang on. Okay, guys, I hope my throat holds out. I'll pause you if I have to clear my throat. So, okay, I've got both some hints and some just comments. Okay, I'll start with the hints first. You've heard of the Farnsworth method. Should you learn with the Farnsworth method? Yes. Yes. Why would you not? Why would you not? Now, I'm going to pause you and I'm going to show you something on my keyer. Hang on. Okay, guys, you tell me what you'd rather hear as a slow CW op or somebody just learning CW. I've turned my speed all the way down. I'll turn my volume all the way up. And this piezo speaker doesn't sound like my rig's side tone, obviously. And I'll mention that again in a minute because I'm glad it doesn't. Now I'm going to issue a speed command. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Hang on. It said 6. It sent a 6 at 6 words per minute. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the keyer volume back down, and I'm going to turn the rig monitors on, and I'm not sending a carrier. The break-in function is turned off on the rig. Let's test. Okay. That's a letter V at 6 words per minute. I'm going to send the word Dan, D-A-N, with what I can only guess is about proper spacing at 6 words a minute. Okay, whoops, sorry about that. So you tell me we're going to go with 6 words per minute and the name Dan. Oops, I can't even send that slow. Hang on, let's do it again. Okay, so that might even have been faster than 6 words per minute. Let's try it again. Okay, as a person learning CW or a person who knows CW and is working on their speed, would you rather hear that excuse me, or this? Let's issue a speed command. That should be about 10 words a minute. Listen. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume back up on the keyer. Let's see what speed that is. 16 words a minute. Yeah, let's try it a little slower. 14. Let me hear it. Let's go a little slower. That's 11. I want to try to get 10. There's 10 words a minute, okay? Now, you heard the name Dan sent with 6 word per minute characters. Let's listen to the name Dan using 10 word per minute characters, but spaced out to 6 words a minute, okay? Now, listen to the letter D. Okay, let's listen to the letter D again at 10 words a minute. Let's listen to the letter D at 6 words a minute. Which would you rather? In my opinion, it's easier for me to recognize the character if it's a little faster than this. Listen. Now let's turn it back up to 10. Listen. If you get a nice short, at 10 words per minute, you get much more time between characters to recognize them and write them down. Again, let's listen to the name Chuck at 10 words per minute. Let's listen to the name of Chuck sent with 10 word per minute characters spaced way out to about 6 words a minute. You know, that's the Farnsworth method. Sending faster characters but spaced farther out to achieve the same lower speed. Okay? Enough said about that. A little hint, I'm going to turn my rig's monitor back off and turn the keyer back up, and I'm going to move you in closer. As an older guy whose hearing is basically normal for my age, except for the fact that I got blown off my feet in an explosion once, and it tore my right eardrum, so I got to tighten my phone down. Let's get you in a little closer. This keyer, the piezo element, is clicky. And man, there's a lot of times, man, that's all I need to be able to copy well, you know? And it's not copying, it's sending. I'm having, after my mini stroke, I began having a nightmare of a time differentiating between 4 and 5 dits when I'm sending. And receiving for that matter. But this clickiness of this piezo element helps tremendously for me when I need it. Listen. You probably can't hear the clickiness. And when I mix that with the rig monitor, it works wonders for me. Okay. I'm going to pause you and look at my notes. Okay, guys. Man, I spent a lot of time on the Farnsworth method. I wanted to start out by saying that, man, I feel like my hints are kind of stupid, and it's stuff that everybody knows. And what I'm saying is the obvious, you know? And I'm sure that's true in most cases, but hopefully something I say is worth something to somebody, you know what I mean? Okay, my next suggestion / hint, paddles. If you intend to send with paddles, and you damn well better, or you're making a mistake. Manual straight keys are laborious. They're beautiful, but they're laborious. If you plan to buy a set of paddles, go for the good ones in the beginning. These MFJ paddles, they work well for me, but they're crap. They're crap. I'm going to point. See that spring right there? Right there? It normally goes on a tab over here, and man, I just had to play with this thing and play with it, and finally I got it to work right. But if you're not mechanically inclined, don't buy the MFJ key. Get the real deal. Just buy the bencher. You'll be glad. Or if you want to buy a better one, there's lots of nice ones out there with magnetic tensioning instead of springs and whatnot. You should be able to get a nice set of paddles for $150. And if you want to spend more on them, go for it. They're precision instruments, and you won't regret it. Okay, let's see. Okay, my pitch, CW pitch. When you're learning to copy, you might be better served with a pitch other than your rig's default 700 hertz. Back in the day, that would have been unheard of. It was generally 800 to 850 hertz. And yeah, so experiment with your rig's pitch, when it's in tune. My Yaesu has a tuning indicator to show when you're at your crystal filter, your IF, whatever, you're at your center. And you can change the frequency of that center in the menu. I'm having a hard time saying what I mean. Hang on a sec. Okay, if you're using a set of paddles and you're brand new to CW, experiment with your paddle position, because typically most people do not end up putting their hands straight on like that. I prefer actually a few degrees of angle that way. I've exaggerated it, but I prefer my thumb to contact first, like that, whilst other people prefer it the other way. And yeah, I like mine at a slight angle. So test that with your sending. You may be surprised at what a difference it makes. Okay, next hint. When you're a slow CW operator, do not be afraid to ask for repeats. You know what I mean? PSE, AGN, question mark. You know what I mean? Nobody in their right mind would be offended by that. And my God, that sounds slow to me. That is hard for me to send. Yeah. Yeah. You want to hear how choppy I am on a straight key? Don't be afraid to ask for repeats. Please again, or just AGN question mark. And ask as many times as you need to. You know what? They understand. You're a slow operator. You're learning, and they understand. Okay, enough of that. Another suggestion. Fellows ask me, where do you find slow speed ops? Well, I'll tell you one place you can find people willing to work you, gladly willing to work you, and that's near the QRP watering hole frequencies. I don't need to tell you what they are. You can find that info. But yeah, QRPers as a group love to work newcomers and slow ops and people with compromised stations, and hang out near the QRP watering hole frequencies and on 40 meters between 7.100 and 7.125. Okay, enough of that. Code readers, should you use one? Ooh, I struggled with this one, man. I use mine on my Yaesu from time to time if I'm trying to work a DX station that I'm having a rough copy with or whatever, or I just don't want to miss any info. I'll turn on the code reader, But then again, I don't need it. I know Morse code, so you, the newcomer, just learning Morse code, ooh, I'd say no. Not until you're actually on the air and working people, and even then I say no. Because that ties in with my next hint. The code reader, man. I don't know. I I guess no opinion on that. Or I do have an opinion, and I would avoid them. You'll use it as a crutch. And that directly ties in with this next tip. Answer CQs that are too fast. You'll learn faster when the pressure is on and you're in the hot seat. You think not? You think you won't be nervous in a QSO in your first few hundred, well, your first dozen QSOs or more? Yeah, you're going to be nervous as hell. And the pressure's on, man. And you're believe me, man, you're going to work a hell of a lot harder to copy the code you're hearing when you're in a QSO. If you don't have the code reader, you know. But code readers aside, answer CQs that are too fast, a little too fast. Always push yourself. Always push yourself. I remember that phase of my CW career. I used to, every single day I'd listen to some CW that was too fast. And not just a couple words per minute too fast. I mean, if I was able to, belly along at 13 words a minute, I'd copy someone sending 20. And I just listen. And the more you listen, the more bits and pieces you're going to start copying in your head. And, before you know it, your speed starts climbing. They say that there's a plateau at 10 words per minute. Some don't experience it, most do. I did. It was awful. But even worse was the plateau at 15. I sat at 15 words per minute for maybe a year. And then this is how CW goes. Hang on. That's how CW goes, man. You'll go to bed one day and you're at that 15 word per minute plateau, and the next day you turn the rig on and you're cruising along at 18 words per minute. That's how it's been for me with every significant speed increase. It just happened overnight. Just out of the blue. Man, you're not listening to me. Hang on. Man, are you going to tell me that she's prettier than that J38? If you think she's better looking than that hand key, man, well, my next comment is, should you do QRP? No. No. Not in the beginning, not when you're learning Morse code, not when you're struggling, not when you're nervous as shit on the bands. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, you need nice, comfortable QSOs. You really do, okay? I got to talk fast, man. Let's see, straight key timing. Smooth. No, yeah. Straight key timing. When you're used to copying CW, you don't want to hear 3-to-1 on a straight key. No, it sounds so choppy. Listen, man, you tell me which is smoother. I'm going to send my old choppy code, then I'm going to force ill timing, and I'm going to force long dashes. Listen, man, let me make sure it's sending. Okay. Now, here's my normal choppy code. I'll say hello. Okay, now this is hard for me to do, but I'm going to push the dashes long. I'm going to cut the timing between all of the characters to very short. And if I can pull this off, listen to the flow. Oh boy, I'm nervous. No, that's not good. Let me try a couple L's. Yeah, like that. Instead of that choppy L. Hear the difference? Oh, God, I'm nervous. Oh, there, you get the gist of it, though. Hear that word me? To a experienced CW op, that sounded like the word me, but to you it probably sounded like a G. It's hard for me to make smooth CW. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to pause you, look at my cheat sheet. Okay, man. Memory cards filling up. Practice QSOs. However you find them, copy them. When you're learning code, if you're just learning it and you're slow, copy practice QSOs. Very important. Very important. It's a different world now than when I learned CW in 1974. You guys have the internet, you have all kinds of media available to you, and I'd have no idea what's out there. There's got to be a lot, though. Use online SDR receivers, whatever, if you don't have a receiver. But practice, listen, use the ARRL code practice sessions. Oh, I did that religiously when I was 14 years old. I never missed them. I copied them religiously, and you know, they have 5 to 7.5 to 10, and then I don't know, 13 and 15, then 20. Use the ARRL code practice bulletins, man. My last hint: the North American QRP CW Club. NAQCC. Oh man, their sprints, their operators love to go slow. And in fact, most of their operators are very, very slow in the sprints. They focus on straight keys and simple wire antennas. And their sprints are a darn good time, man. And you just get on the air and work their sprints and send as slow as you want, and they'll slow down for you, man. They'd love to. They'd just love to. I promise you. I'm one of the members, and there's nothing I used to love more. I used to operate the sprints at 18 to 20 words per minute, and there's nothing I loved more than coming across someone calling CQNA, and then their call sign, and they're ripping along at 8 words a minute. I freaking love it, man. That's all I've got to say. My phone will be filled in 30 seconds. I hope you're well. So, take care, man. 73 now, guys.